The best of the best of the best. We are that here on the Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it, continuing our breakdowns of all of the 32 NFL franchises regarding their 2025 NFL schedule. And of course, we cannot forget the reigning, defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. They dominated their way to a Super Bowl. Saquon, sensational Saquon, jolting his way throughout the season, over 2,000 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts getting it done. Put some respect on that brother's name. And the Eagles look prime for a repeat. If you're new here, make sure you sack that subscribe button like Jalen Carter. Make sure you tackle that thumbs up like N'Kobe Dean and Zach Bond. And leave a comment. Let me know your prediction for the Eagles and their schedule. And hit that bell to know when all of our content drops, including all of our predictions for the 2025 season. We got a plethora of them out so far, more on the way. If you don't see your favorite team, don't worry, they're on the way. They're probably in production right now or getting ready to be released. So check your sub boxes. But let's get into it. I don't really have any flaws with the Eagles. I kind of waited to do this video because I wanted to see how the tush push vote would go. The tush push is staying at least for another year. I didn't think it was going to be a situation where it will be eliminated at least right now. I think what could happen though eventually, if the Eagles keep winning at the rate I think they could, and a lot of pundits do, we could see it potentially banned maybe next year because teams will say, well, it's a competitive advantage. Oh, they're winning too much. No, they just cannot stop it, or you cannot stop it. And it's very hard to stop because everybody doesn't run it like the Eagles. If it was so easy and everyone could do it, then they would be doing it. The Eagles do it really well. They do it as better than anybody. Yeah, Buffalo does it. I know the Ravens do it. Other teams do it. But when it comes to the Eagles, they're what, like a 90+% conversion rate on those short yardage plays. So, and I'm looking at their team. They don't have any flaws really. They're bringing back pretty much everybody on offense. Backup quarterback, could Kyle McCord eventually be that guy? They got DTR, Tanner McGee. They got AJ Dillon now to spell Saquon Barkley along with Will Shipley. Devontae Smith is back. AJ Brown is back. Jahan Dotson is back. Goddard got a new contract. Mailata, Dickerson, Cam Jurgens just got paid. Lane Johnson. I guess the biggest loss is Mekhi Becton. He went to the Chargers, but I'm sure Tyler Steen will step in and be serviceable. And defensively, Jordan Davis, Jordan Carter. Can't forget him. Zach Bond, Kobe Dean is healthy. Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean last year, Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, the talent is as good as anybody in the NFL. And honestly, I don't see many flaws in what they do. Nick Sirianni just got paid as well, so congratulations to him. And I think obviously they start the season against the Cowboys. I think they will win that game. That is the Thursday night game on Peacock, 8:20, September 4th. So we're less than 4 months away from the start of the regular season. I think the Eagles start out 1-0. Then they go to the Chiefs. We get a Super Bowl rematch. Remember, they dominated that matchup. Offensive line, defensive line in the trenches. That's a Fox game. So it will be back on Fox like the Super Bowl was. And I think the Chiefs do hand the Eagles a loss because the Eagles have dominated the Chiefs the last few times they played Super Bowl and regular season in Kansas City. I think the Eagles will then be 1-1. They go to then host the LA Rams 1 p.m. on Fox. I think they win that, get to 2-1. They go to Tampa. I don't know if they'll lose to Tampa. That's going to be an interesting game for Tampa because do the Eagles lose that? Like I said, I don't. Do they lose that? I'm going to say they lose that. I'm going to say just because it's going to be a fun game. I'm going to say they lose that because they have lost to Tampa in the playoffs a few years ago. I'm going to say they're 2-2. But then the next few games, Denver, the Giants, the Vikings, the Giants again. So they get the Giants twice in the first 8 weeks, week 6 and week 8. Wow. Do I see them at 6-2? They got a perfect bye right at week 9, just where you want it in the middle of the season. So do I see them at 6-2? Because that's like I said, beating the Cowboys, losing to the Chiefs, beating the Rams, losing to the Bucks, beating the Broncos, beating the Giants, beating Minnesota, and beating the Giants again. Now I do think either they'll win in Tampa and lose in Minnesota, or lose in Minnesota, win in Tampa, if that makes sense. So one of those two road games, Tampa or Minnesota, they'll win one, lose one. So I say 6-2 to start the first 8. How's that sound, Eagles fans? Then they go to Green Bay. I'm gonna say that's a loss. That's a Monday night game. That'll be a big time primetime game. So they'll get to 6-3. Then they go to Detroit. I think they'll be 7-3. I think they split with Dallas, so I'll say 7-4. They'll beat Chicago. That is an 8-4. They go to the Chargers. I say 9-4. I think they can win that. Play Vegas 10-4. At Washington twice. They have Washington twice to end the season, so I think they'll split with Washington. Then they go to Buffalo. That could be a potential Super Bowl preview. 425 on Fox on December 28th, and then the last game of the season against the Commanders. So at Washington on Saturday, December 20th, then they go to Buffalo, then they go to home, and they finish at Washington. Wow, that is not an easy stretch to end the season. So I think, like I said, I do have them at 6-2 to start the season. So I say 6-2 going into the bye. Then they lose to Green Bay 6-3. They beat Detroit 7-3, lose to Dallas 7-4, 8-4 against the Bears, 9-4 against the Chargers, 10-4 against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they lose one to Washington, so I'll say 10-5. Ooh, I think do they lose 6 games? I mean, do they lose to Buffalo? That's a tough game on the road. And then they got Washington in the season. Do we get them at 11-6? 11-6 maybe? Because when you're the Super Bowl champion, you will get the team's best shot every game. And I think teams will be rising up to play them. And this will be, quote unquote, their Super Bowl. Now, could this lead to a situation where the Eagles maybe are not the number one seed? Potentially, but they also could be the number one seed. Now, could they? I think they win the NFC East because I think I have the Cowboys and Commanders at about 9 to 10 wins apiece. Giants, I'm probably around 5 or 6. So I think even if the Eagles are 11-6, that'll win the NFC East. And I'll have them top 3 seed, no doubt. But I'm gonna say 11-6. I think they have a little bit of a tough stretch at the end because that Buffalo game is gonna be tough. We know divisional games against Washington are gonna be easy now. They're not the doormat of the NFC East. That game against the Chargers going West Coast. Obviously, that'll be a home game. It'll be a lot of Eagles fans, but that's a Monday night game on the road. You got to go to Dallas. You got to play Chicago. You got to play Detroit. You got to go to Green Bay second half of the season. I think what they don't play back to back home game all season. I think they're the first Super Bowl team to do so. Like I said, the Giants games won't be easy. Do I think they sweep? Yes. Got to go to Minnesota. Never an easy place to play. At Tampa, we know they've lost there before. The Rams, they had them on the ropes in the playoffs. So it's not an easy schedule for the Eagles. A little bit tougher than I thought. Then you got to go to Kansas City. You open with Dallas. That won't be easy. Obviously, while I think they do win. Like I said, I go 6-2 going into the bye, 6-3 after that. So I'm gonna say 11-6. I think they go to 11-6, and they are the winners of the NFC East. But it'll be a tighter race than people think. But I still think when it gets to playoff time with Saquon Barkley, the way that defense can get after it, Jalen Hurts not making crucial mistakes, having the weaponry that they have, Sirianni, no pressure on him. He got a contract extension. I could see this team getting back to and winning the Super Bowl. So I'm going to say 11-6, but that second half stretch at Green Bay, then Detroit, then Dallas, then Chicago, then the Chargers, then Washington twice, and then Buffalo, all playoff caliber teams. I think Vegas may even be a little bit better. Not an easy schedule for the Eagles, but I think they're battle tested. They're winners. I think they go 11-6, get into the playoffs, and I'm pretty willing to bet they will be in Levi Stadium in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl this coming season. They are the class of the NFC, in my opinion. Do they get the number one seed? Time will tell. I think they win the NFC East. Like I said, at least get a top 3 seed, and we'll see where the chips may fall. But I think the Eagles bringing back who they bought back, getting healthy. The draft that they had, I didn't even mention Jahad Campbell falling to them at 32. He's going to help their defense, where how they can move him around. So, with that being said, getting Jahad Campbell, having another great draft. We know Howie Roseman does not mind making big swings. I think they win 11, but would it shock me if they win 12 or 13? No. But I think their schedule is a little tougher than people may realize. But I think 11-6, winners of the NFC East, and they will be back in the Super Bowl. But sound off down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Go ahead and stack that subscribe button. Saquon, shake that like button if you can as well. And make sure you hit that bell. Let me know your thoughts on the Eagles schedule and do they make it back to the Super Bowl. We're doing this for all 32 teams. If I haven't gotten to your team yet, I promise I will. Be patient. Just wait on it. It's coming soon. God's favorite host, yours truly, right here on the Flex Zone Podcast, your home for professional sports, giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. We'll see you with more schedule breakdowns here on the channel. Have a great day.